brother, we'd look at him in church, and he'd let his teeth fall out. I mean,
Drop down.
Yeah, and that would just tickle the daylights out of me. And many of the time, I've ridden a horse with Daddy to church in the wintertime.
What about the rest of the family? Were they in a buggy or something? Or just you and your dad went on a horse?
Daddy and I went on a horse because the weather was bad. I think we had a T model then.
Yeah, but you didn't take it out in the bad weather.
I can't remember it all.
How long did it take you to get to church?
Well, we had walked from our house to the church. It took us a while.
Man.
But we'd stop along the way and visit with people. And I'll never forget one time, I think Miss Bergner and maybe Kate, we were going to walk to Bible school.
Uh-huh.
And we thought we'd take a shortcut and cut through a field. It was a path or a shortcut. And we came across where they had the Cove Creek had a outside basketball court.
Yeah.
Well, we went by, and I swear, Kate said, "Would you look at this pile of shit?" Somebody had crapped, and I swear.
Well, maybe it was one of the farm animals or something.
Somebody just had to go real bad, and it was a pile. And I'll never forget, Kate said, "It looks to me like a pile of shit like that would take 4 people." Isn't that funny how I'm remembering that?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez. And Kate was sort of interested in Woodrow Gibbs. He was somebody from our church. And they were somebody, you know.
Yeah.
And so they weren't, Mother and Daddy wasn't too fond of that. Then when Kate went to high school at St. James, she met Joe Neese.
Oh, she met Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were married and lived down there. And
But, I mean, she finished high school. She met Uncle Joe in high school?
yeah. As a matter of fact, they were going on a basketball trip somewhere. And Joe Neese, I mean, he was young then, so he just went along with
Oh, with the team and the players?
Team. And that's where it started.
Oh. Do you remember when they got married?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
They run off and get married?
yeah, they did.
They did.
They didn't. And I'll never forget, Kate always got up early in the morning. Mother would yell at her to come and build a fire on the stove to get the stove heated so that she could make biscuits for breakfast and all that. But, you know, looking back, I don't see how we did all that.
No, and you were lucky because you were the baby girl, so you didn't have to do the chores like the older ones did you?
Well, yeah, I had jobs to do.
What did you have to do?
I know one time Letty Allen, Evelyn and I swiped some grapes out of the basement. And then we were going to go down to Monday Hole, and then we were going to pick violets, and, you know, wildflowers.
Yeah.
And so we were eating those, and Daddy found out that we had did something. So we were going down there was a road that's still there along the creek, and so we were eating those grapes and dropping the seeds. So Daddy was tracing us down with the grape seeds or the grape, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't eat the grape skin, and so Daddy said, "Well, he'd take care of those young ladies," he called us. So that Evelyn and I, we saw Daddy coming with a switch. So we got over in the creek where it was deep, and we was under the creek with just our heads up. And he was coming down by the side of the creek, and he was using this switch on his.
Yeah.
I'll get those young ladies for this.
He knew where you were.
He may have.
Oh,
but
he
we were
knew.
there in the creek.
Hiding.
And after he went on, but he thought we'd gone to the Monday hole. That was where we swam.
What is a Monday hole?
Well, it was down along the creek.
Oh, it was deeper than where you were
Oh,
hiding.
yeah, that's
Oh.
where everybody swam.
Ah.
And there was a man by the name of Monday. He was a traveling person.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he sold extracts or something.
Huh.
But
Elixirs.
they'd come by, those people would come by and sell yard goods and
Yeah.
other stuff. But anyway, this guy, his last name was Monday. And that's what we called our swimming hole.
Oh.
The Monday hole.
Uh-huh.
And he drowned in it. He did.
I wonder what happened.
I guess he just maybe couldn't swim. Because back then the creek was big and it was a big swimming hole.
Yeah.
And the boys, when they'd come in from work or come back from work and come by there, they'd get stripped naked and go in and take it.
Oh, Lord.
Because
But
it
now
was in-
people used to jump off the bridge, too, there at the
Yes,
mill.
Those crazy girls of Luke's did.
They did? It's not very deep there, though, is it?
Yeah, it was deep.
Oh, it was.
But they didn't do that too often. Luke put a stop to it.
He did? Why? Because it was dangerous?
Well, at first, I think Luke thought it might have been kind of neat that his daughters could swim and dive and all
Sure,
that.
yeah.
But then I think he got older and he got to thinking, this is not right.
Yeah.
But, oh my. And another time, Evelyn and I went up the creek. There was a grapevine that we swung out on. And there was the field up the creek on the left. There was a cow that was trying to have a calf.
Oh,
And she couldn't give birth.
yeah.
And Evelyn and I came home and we were telling Mother and all of them about what we saw. And then Luke went up there and he pulled that calf.
He did. He helped her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how. I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was interesting. And then Daddy had a horse. His favorite, old Jimmy. Oh,
Jimmy? Old Jimmy?
He loved that horse. Oh, he'd just curry him, and I would curry him. Get out there, and he never kicked. He was just a pet. That's what he was. But then something happened, and he got down in his stall,
Oh.
and he couldn't get up. And Daddy said, this is what horses do. They start beating their heads. And he beat his head till it was bloody. And Daddy came, and I heard him telling Mother, and he got his pistol. And he said, I hate to do this. He was practically crying because the horse was down.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get up. So Daddy shot him in the head and killed him. And then he had somebody to come with a tractor and got him, dragged the horse out of I don't know how they did it. And then dragged him
To bury him.
and buried him.
Oh.
I'll never forget that.
How old were you then, you think? Were you
I
little?
was just a little snot-nosed kid running around.
Oh.
I used to cry. I'd play with the pigs, and then they grew up, and then they
I know.
slaughtered them, and they had to send me back to the house because I'd made pets out of them. And then we had a cow that had a calf, and something happened to the mother, and she died. So I was going to raise that calf. It was the cutest little thing. That damn calf got so it would follow me in the house.
Your mother didn't allow that.
She did. She couldn't help herself. Because I'd say, well, Mommy,
Lonely.